Hi, this is the Daily Spark Day 21 question. What emotional patterns repeat regardless of content, suggesting a structural rather than situational origin? What emotional patterns repeat regardless of content, suggesting a structural rather than situational origin? What I take that to mean is um, what repeats uh, like the part I was hung up on is structural versus situational. I feel like so much is situational. Everything is relational, situational. But what I think they mean by structural, they ChatGPT is something more foundational. Because what I think about is like our early childhood conditioning, trauma, pains, like the wounds that then lead to these emotional patterns that repeat throughout life. Like the stuff that's so foundational that um, it feels like a structure that we are, that is built up within us, around us. It's like it just so feels like a part of us. Do you feel that with anything? I know I have mine that I've talked about on here, and even some others. But where this took me or takes me is immediately. I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm working through. I'm doing fetter work. If you've never heard of it, it's FETTER, and it's a Buddhism thing, and it's there are like 10 fetters, and so I bounced around between all the fetters at one point or another, because things aren't linear, we know that. And then I found myself back at some instructional kind of some videos around fetter one. So I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I was done with that. Nope, comes back around. So, and I'm finding them kind of useful once again to look at um, things that arise that I latch onto or identify with. And these are like old stories, old conditionings, things that I know, like that play out with my emotional patterns. And they feel structural to the point where it's like, wait a minute, I thought I saw through this. I thought it's healed. I thought I let go, whatever, however you want to phrase it. And then something else, that pattern then pops back up, and I'm like, oh, darn it, there it is again in a different situation. So that's where I might think, oh, well, it is situational. But no, the ones that feel like they keep coming back around just feel like structural, like they're baked into me, and it's like so challenging to let those go. Or it's not even challenging to let go. I'm all about letting go. I love looking at things, like feeling the things, crying all the cries, whatever it takes. And like, I love release, love letting go. It's what's hard for me. The challenge is uh, what is the challenge? I just had it. I wanted to phrase it how I had it. It's really the awareness that it's even there in the first place. So it's the um, how do you know what you don't know? And how do you know that there's something left underneath all that letting go you did? There's still more to let go around that thing. However, I will say, as I was walking the track this morning, man, I swear there's never a moment where I'm not doing shadow work. What's wrong with me? And it's not that I'm always doing it, but I'm always like, my headspace seems to be oriented toward how can I keep orienting toward like what's ready to release, what's ready to let go. Because I think just because it feels so good to be clear, it feels so good to let go, to not be carrying around the weight of your world that you used to carry around. And so I'm like, well, every time I feel a little weighty, that's what I'm doing. Let's look at it. So this feels like it's incessant, but I love it. So, but I do other things, don't worry. So I walk in the track this morning and listening to one of those videos on the first fetter, and um what's, again, divine timing, whatever you want to call it. Remember, I don't even know if I've posted this video yet. Sometimes I do the videos and I don't post them because I don't have Wi-Fi here, and then I get home and I forget. So I don't know if I've posted this video yet, but recently, within the last day or two, I was talking about how things feel like I'm in like defense mode, like there's something to defend, or in attack mode, like there's something to attack. And it's both are in the name of protection, protecting something that was that one of those early childhood conditions or wounds that happened, and I wasn't safe. And so the emotional pattern, just to bring it back to this, and it's all like divine timing this week of thinking about defenses, is like the thing like that said, oh, you weren't safe. And so the emotional pattern that repeats is like either being on the defense because I got to watch out to make sure like safety is here and then I don't get hurt and then my other people don't get hurt and everybody's okay, or going on the attack as a sort of a preemptive defense kind of a thing, you know? And it's the attack really for me shows up in like judgments or the way things should be, and they have to look a certain way because that's how you create safety, is like to set expectation and to uphold the expectations. Like everything's like expectant, you know? So to me, that's more on the attack mode. And actually, A Course in Miracles talks about this really early on. And so I'm no stranger to this concept of like attack thoughts, preemptive attack thoughts, defense thoughts, like, and I still see that emotional pattern playing out in my life from time to time of like going on the defense. And it's not even like, you know how some people are like, you know, they're like ultra defensive, like you can't really, it's like walking on eggshells so you don't accidentally hurt their feelings. I don't feel like I'm at that extreme anymore, question mark. But I do feel like when something rises up in me that says, like, it almost feels like a contraction, like a constriction, like a bracing, because that's a defense, to put up a wall to try to like stay separate. So that emotional pattern still plays out, although not as like dramatically as it used to. And the attack, like I feel like even that has lessened a lot in the last couple of years. Thank God. And thank God for my husband. Like I'm sure he's happier, you know, because I feel like I do that like with my closest loved ones. It's like a safe space to play out those old patterns and then apologize, you know. It's not as dramatic as I'm making it sound, and he's very understanding. It's just like I want to be as clear and as like let all of that go as possible, just to, so that we're all just more at peace. You know, anyone in my sphere is more at peace because those things I'm not projecting out into the world around the people I love. So yeah, that one feels very structural to me. The one that says you aren't safe, and that happened. I don't have to keep repeating that story, but in my nervous system it keeps playing out in those ways that says something's not how I expected it to be. And when I think about defense and attack, there was the divine timing thing, was like that Fetter video started talking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was literally just, that already came to me as like, hey, look at this, that whole like, you know. And then it started talking about it, I was like, well, that means it's time to like look deeply to find, maybe to get to the heart of letting this go. And at this point I feel like it's very energetic. It's like I feel like even through the video, there were no new epiphanies. It was just like a reminder to say like, here's some practices, look at this in every conversation, every interaction, just Be willing to look. And so, the one thing I was thinking about prior to the video was how, do you feel asymmetrical? Because there's been a lot going on around here today. Because I feel like as a body worker, that's just, I've never felt another human who is symmetrical on both sides of their bodies when I'm doing body work. So I figure like that's just a fundamental law. Like nobody's symmetrical. Even have you done the face? Like I'm two different people right now. Like we're not symmetrical. But even in the tension patterns in our bodies. So where I'm going with this is I've always known like my left side of my body, at least as long as I've been aware, the left side of my body always feels like the one that carries all the bags. It's the one that's like the bracing, the one that's the holding, the one that holds things up so that the right hand can do the precision work because I'm like right hand dominant. So like I'm brushing my teeth right-handed, I'm doing all the fine-tuning stuff with my right hand, and my left hand is always like, remember, like I think I've talked about this on my video, is I'm like, why is my left hand in a death grip on my coffee cup? It like I still notice that like every day. And it's like, let go, let go, let go. So there's something all along my left side that's just like bracing against the world, even when I don't, and I'm not aware of it until I'm like sitting there and I'm thinking about these things. I'm like, oh my God, let go. And the whole, it's from head to foot. I feel like my trigger points are in my left scapula. Like there's just like the left hip's all bound up. Everything is tight on my left side. My right side's like, woo, loosey goosey, a little too loose actually. I went to the PT and we were talking about how like even my right, I have an outward lateral rotation of my right hip. Of all the muscles on my right side are more lax. They are just too stretched, which is a problem for my, anyway, you don't need to know my whole PT breakdown, but so I'm way not symmetrical. I've been working on it a lot in the last 2 months that I went to the PT and she gave me specific things to do. And I'm already noticed like I have no more back pain. I'm like, how'd you do that? And all the things that we're working on are actually helping. And at the same time, that physical focus is helping me focus on like, you know, where my mind goes. This is what I was going to say. Just having studied traditional Chinese medicine and I do shiatsu and all the things that like, and I practice Qigong and like, I really love Western or Eastern modalities in body work and theory and all the things that talk about 5-element theory and how that relates to the organ systems in our bodies and our cycles through the seasons. And it's just so beautifully true. There's a deep truth that I feel with all of that theory and 5,000 years of practice, you know. So where I was thinking is like, well, the left side of a body is considered the feminine side, the right side, the masculine. And you should know by now, we don't mean male, female. It's like the energies that are feminine, the energies ascribed to masculine. And it goes like the traditional Chinese medicine, like that's like a fundamental understanding is left side is female, feminine, the right side is masculine. And so even when we start body work, if I'm doing more of an Eastern modality, and I even do it in my massage practice too, which is Western massage, I find myself starting with the left side of the body for female identifying clients and male side of the body, like the right side for male identifying clients. And something feels right about that, you know, and then sometimes I switch it up. If I get this vibe or energy about somebody that feels like, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it feels like maybe they're really asking for that different kind of balance to come in for the opposite gender, or you know what I mean, the opposite energy, and then that feels right. So I don't question it. I just go with the feeling. But I'm like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. The female side of me, the feminine side, is like bracing against the world because of my specific history, my specific wounds, and the right side that feels very, you could say, emasculated in energy. Like I don't feel like I have a lot of agency through life. Not now, but like this is my history where it's like I'm not the one you think about like yin and yang, the yang energy or yang of the masculine is the outward, like how do I want to say it, the empowered one that this through force, through outward exertion gets things done in the world. And so my dominant side feels very weak. It's interesting though, right? So do you see that I'm saying all this so you can see if it feels true for you? I don't get to talk about this too much with everybody because it can seem a little like woo woo to people who maybe haven't thought about this stuff before, but it's very rooted in like 5,000 years of traditional Chinese medicine. And so I think about how my feminine side, which has been bracing against the masculine energies in my life for so long, because as a protective mechanism, and talk with a lot of female. I would love to have a group discussion with a lot of females who've gone through trauma initiated or at least perceived to be initiated from the other gender, from the masculine side, to say, do you feel like your feminine side is just like bound up, bracing in protective mode? Or it could be the flip side that they're dominant. So maybe the masculine side is like overexerting and therefore tense, where you stay in a contracted state. I gotta go, my clients are coming. But I've been thinking about this like defense, offense, left side, right side of my body, masculine, feminine, again, not gender, but those energies that exist in the world under those umbrellas. And it just feels so true in my body. And so when I'm playing with unraveling my own tension and unraveling my own expectations around this stuff about like the emotional patterns that repeat around expectation, I go there in my head and it there's a lot of aha moments, connecting dots, stuff starts to unravel. It feels so true. Like when things resonate deeply, that's when I know like, oh wow, this feels like so true to me. I'm curious how it shows up for other people if you were to look at it from all those different angles of like the sides of your body not being symmetrical. Where do you find your tension patterns showing up? With the somatic experiencing work that I do, we talk about that. It's like in clinical practice, it's known, it's studied, it's researched that those patterns show up. Like the emotional body impacts the physical body. That's what it's all about. So I think this question is really interesting about what emotional patterns repeat. Well, I know what mine are, and then I'm like, how do they repeat, not just in my interactions with other people, but how are they repeating in my body? And I think that's so fascinating. And I think it can bear a lot of fruit. I've said that a lot lately, like things that feel like they're worth exploring. Not that you're supposed to get somewhere or do something, but that's what I mean by like they seem fruitful to explore. Like they keep you wanting to go, ooh, let's go into that more. To me, that's one for me. It's like how the emotional body is informing and scaffolding and all the things the physical body. So yeah, let me know what you think. This one I would love to have a group discussion. I really want to talk to people about this stuff. Let me know. Bye.